Cops patrolling. Another dance stopped me and I get locked up.
They won't let me out. They won't let me out.
But I'm getting ahead of myself here. So, first things first, I'm the realist. That was a horrible Iggy reference. But first things first, thank you for the responses I got for the previous video. They were very, very useful. And we will get to story time after a word from our sponsors, i.e., me. I don't know how you approach exercise in general, but I approach mine from the point of view of a game. What do I mean? You'll have levels that are easier than others. You'll have levels that require more effort or for you to unlock certain skills for you to progress. And generally, I do like to think of fitness in a similar regard because the skills you have to build up to, and you just can't come from a beginner background and immediately pull them off. Like you can, but the effect might be more detrimental than beneficial. For this to work, we'll need to pull a Sanjin Wu and basically upgrade from a weak little E rank all the way to the god tier S rank. And as usual, this is the pre-workout. I don't know which angle works better between these two. That had more effect than I thought it would, to be very honest. Hopefully, by the end of this whole venture, you're going to have gained some useful knowledge. I'm doing a total of 4 exercises, and how I'm going to do this is actually I'm going to explain as I get into position. I'm going to explain to you how to do them, right? And how much you should rest in between each set, and how many reps you need ideally for each and every exercise. Okay, and as you can see, my spot is already she's already signed up for duty. So like I said, in the first video, when you're doing ab exercises, right, there's the top half of your abs, there's the lower half of your abs, right? I don't know if you can see this, but there's a very clear division. Your ribs, everything on this side, and then there's this all the way over here. Like you can actually see this is where my ribs are. So as I was saying, for you to get this set of abs right here, you have to move this way. For you to get this set of abs right here, you have to move your legs that way. And yeah, I hope this helps. And I might need you to get off me at some point. That's all I'm saying. I don't know whether this is gonna make a difference. You see right now, this is how my hand can pass in between this little hole over here. That shouldn't be there, so your back should completely be on the ground, right? So that means you're gonna change even the way your feet are oriented, the way you plant your legs and your lower half. Please stop scratching me. We've all been told to be careful what you wish for because you just might get it. But I never paid this any mind because I don't consider myself to be a superstitious person, right? So there was this time in my third year of uni, we had made a certain arrangement with my mom, and when it came time for her to honor the arrangement, she went back on her word like she usually does. So I was very upset. We got into it in the morning, and she was like, "Oh, Alvin, you're throwing tantrums. There's no way for someone your age to be behaving." I was like, "Excuse me, mom, you snaked me again. Did you expect me to give you goddamn roses?" So I storm out of the house and I go hang out with my friend, right? And he tells me that I'm supposed to go to town. There's shall we call it a package? Yes. There's a package I'm supposed to pick from Ngara, and do you wanna come with? And I was like, well, I don't wanna go back home, so why the hell not? And I was in Crocs, sweatpants, and a hoodie because I had not even anticipated I was gonna go anywhere, right? So we get into a Jav, we go to town, we get to Ngara, we pick our stuff, and we're back. Now, my friend and I have this habit that if we use one route to go somewhere, we're not going to use the same route to come back. Wait, am I doing this correctly? No, wait. Yes. But when the devil is looking for you, he's going to find you even if you're hiding underneath the goddamn bed. This day wasn't any different. So we've done our business. We were heading back into town, and we're seeing police all over. But you're like, we were used to seeing them all over. This is nothing new. The way I've been moving one arm, right, or moving this way, this is the one side count. This is not 1, 2. This is 1, 2. Okay. So when I say 10 reps, I mean 10 reps, but you only count one side. So it's a total of 20 reps. Okay. So that's essentially how most ab exercises work, Apparently, my dear, this is not ideal. And they actually in uniform. So we walk to town, or rather towards town, and we get to the Globe Cinema roundabout, and we actually cross to the other side. But as soon as we get to the other side, I feel someone yank me by my collar, and I'm like, the fuck? It's in the middle of the goddamn day. Who has the audacity to accost me in broad daylight in front of all these people? So I look at my friend. He has an equally puzzled look on his face. So that's never a good thing. And I look to my other side, and someone I've never seen before with a very scary ass looking face is holding on to me, and someone is also holding on to my friend. A third person walks in front of us, and he's patting us down. So I'm very confused. I ask myself, what the hell are these people looking for? And I see a walkie talkie on his hand, and I'm very concerned because why do you have a walkie talkie? On further inspecting, I see handcuffs and a gun. So now my heart's beating and my palms are sweating, knees weak, arms are heavy, your mom's spaghetti. Uh, anyway, they frisk us, and you can bet they're looking for something, and you can rest assured they found it, right? And once they did, the next thing I know, my friend and I are, cuffed, being walked to some strange destination on the other side of the road. And I don't consider myself to be vanilla, and I don't consider myself to be kinky, but I'm gonna say this: police handcuffs are about the most uncomfortable things I've ever tried. Like, I know they're not meant for pleasure, but what the actual shit. Like, the moment they went onto my wrists, they immediately started biting into my skin. Like, it was so uncomfortable, and I think they're designed like that on purpose, right? And we get taken to some abandoned place, and we find a gray fielder that's been parked over there. And, we are crammed inside, and they start reading us a long list of threats. It's like they had memorized this shit. Like, oh, do you know what you're in for? Da 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 da. And I know the moment you get caught by police, you never say shit. My friend and I were quiet as fuck. We're just like, no offended, da 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 da. We're actually not even saying anything substantial. It's just one word or two word answers, right? That's all we're saying. So this man reaches into my bag. I had a certain bag which I usually travel with, but because I'm so skinny, the moment I put it on and you put clothes on top, you will not realize I have something inside, right? He has that bag. Inside that bag, there is evidence, a whole lot of it, allegedly. And he also finds a pocket knife, allegedly. And he says, um, this is an interesting find. And while you young men are probably walking around here with knives, we have guns. So we have no reason to be scared of you. And that statement sent chills down my spine. Like, I'm not even joking. I have never felt that terrified in my life. And they, start the car, and they're taking us to the police station. And along the way, they're threatening us, telling us we're in a heap of trouble, we'll need to give a certain amount of money, or we're going to be in prison for the rest of our lives. And I'm like, excuse me, sir, you see how I'm dressed. What would make you think I have the amount that you're quoting? And even if I had it, what would make you think I will give it to you? So, I started making calls. I hadn't expected to get arrested, so I didn't have any cash laying around. So I'm trying to look for someone who can access the money that I have without getting into trouble. Because if I was to call my mom and tell her, yo, I need you to go somewhere, get this money, send it to me, she's gonna have questions. First of all, why do you have such an amount? Why do you need it? I did not need to be interrogated more than I was being interrogated at that time, right? So they're driving us around. We inevitably get to Parklands police station, and I'm literally staring at the entrance of the police station. And then it hits me. I have a cut on Monday. This is Saturday evening. I hadn't read thinking that I would have enough time to study. But no, it's Saturday evening, and I'm in the back of a police car staring into the police station about to be booked for the weekend. And I realize I cannot afford to be booked, because if I'm booked, I'm going to have a criminal record and I'm going to miss my cut. And my school isn't very considerate when it comes to giving people makeup cuts, right? So I make more frantic calls. I realize that you can't depend on some people for shit. I was like, okay, that's my fault. Why would you try to depend on someone for shit? So anyway, we we inevitably get the money. And these people were so hungry to the point where they would actually look at your balance when money is sent. That was crazy business. So I had some cash, locked it to my Mshwari very quickly, deleted the message. So when I got cash sent to my phone, the only amount they could see is the one that was on my balance, right? So everyone who's been arrested knows you can't send police money via M-Pesa. You have to withdraw that money and give it to them. So they took us from the police station, right? And we literally went around Parklands looking for a place we could withdraw money. And the audacity of these men, once they got the money, they gave us part of the evidence back and they gave us each 50 bob to get home. I looked at them and I was like, the hell am I supposed to do with this? Genuinely, what the hell am I supposed to do with this? I appreciate you giving back part of the evidence, but this is just insulting. It's better you could have just taken all the money, but what the fuck am I supposed to do with this? And since my friend and I had different quests that day, he went his way, I went mine. But the next day we met up and we were like, we have to make back the money that we lost yesterday because that's not an amount I'm willing to just lose and continue existing like nothing happened. So we took the bag and the evidence it contained and we got to business. I mean, we got back a decent amount, but it was a far cry from what we had lost. And that was the last time I went to Ngara, man. I usually pass by there, and each time I pass, I get PTSD because I'm like, God damn it. This almost cost me my freedom. And I honestly believe someone ratted us out. Someone definitely ratted us out because there's no way, there's absolutely no goddamn way that actually went down like that and we were just that unlucky. I do not buy that story one bit. Someone snitched on us. Regardless, the important thing is I got my freedom back. I never read for the cat, but I still passed it somehow. And my mother was none the wiser. So all's well that ends well, I guess. Except for the huge amount of money I lost at the hands of police. God damn them. That's all we had time for today. And be sure to like and subscribe. Leave me a comment or two telling me what you'd like me to improve or what you liked about the whole story and the workout and all that stuff. And yeah, take plenty of water, mind your business, be careful about your environment, and I'll see you guys in the next one. Bye bye. So most people do this when they're doing abs, right? You'll get into the proper form. You'll go either too fast, like this, or you're gonna start swinging, right? That doesn't do you any good because what exactly are you doing? They could also be where you're set up. See how I used my hands to get up? Like I said, you need to counterbalance and shift your weight so that you can actually move. There's also people who, once you've gotten up and you're going back down, you don't resist gravity as you're going back down. You're ideally supposed to do something similar to that, but you find a lot of people when they're doing ab work, you can actually even hear them slam onto the ground. And I keep asking, one, doesn't that hurt your back and your head? Because you're constantly slamming onto the ground. That doesn't sound very comfortable. And more importantly, it's not effective because how are you convincing me that you're doing abs and your abs are barely doing anything? You're going up using momentum, you're coming down using gravity. You're basically doing nothing. So the most important thing to note that when you're doing abs or generally when you're doing any set of exercise, it's more important for you to control how you're moving rather than how many reps you can actually do. If you can do 5 clean reps, it's better than doing 10 that you've barely done anything because again, muscles are all about efficiency, and the more efficient your workout is, the more strength you're going to gain because you're directly challenging muscles in the way that stimulates their growth, right? You're not just fatiguing them and just giving them a huge volume of nonsensical work to do, right? So I do believe that's going to be it for today. I don't want to make this so information packed that it becomes a nightmare to go through. Anywho, thank you for joining. I hope you like and subscribe, share with your friends, and I'll see you guys in the next one. Bye.